Greetings everyone, Napoleon Complex here. Last time we succeeded in invading Franconia, and we're not so successful in invading Bohemia. So let's end our turn and see where we end up. And oh, that is a big army. Right, so the enemy have invaded Silesia, and they've also invaded the Palatinate. So let's take a look at how our siege in Franconia is going to go. We've got a 36% chance of taking it this next turn. But we are now getting quite severely outnumbered. What are their chances? Only 12% versus 36%. So we really want to keep this siege going. Let's combine our armies for now. That's 975 points. That's a big army. There's not a lot I can do about that just now, but what it might mean is, if I move into Silesia, we'll push them into Bohemia. And I know what I can do. Move into Bohemia, we push them into there. Now they can't supply their army properly there. So, but that is a massive and dangerous army, so I might want to think about doing is abandoning my siege in Franconia. I might leave a token force to continue the siege, quote unquote. I can't relieve the Palatinate right now. So what might be a better thing to do is to move into Bohemia and consolidate. The thing is that I can't do that because I'll be taking supply damage. Right, and that's down to 1 AP, so they can't move any farther. What I could do is send as many troops as possible to Bohemia. I need to carefully calculate the point difference. But that would give me the largest possible armies to besiege Bohemia with Franconia becoming basically a decoy force. And despite the fact that taking Franconia would be wonderful, I think that's probably what I want to do because I don't want enemies in my land. So we'll hold on a second. Cancel that for a second. How many points? 748. So we can take another about 590 points. So we'll start to split our armies off. So I'm just trying to take a cross section of my army out. Okay, right. Just like so. We'll be sending more than half, so let's just be a bit more aggressive with moving troops over. Okay, we can maybe move one more unit. There we go, that's just about enough. So we confirm the split there, and they are going to march off to join the army in Bohemia. You're kidding, why is there a supply shortage? Combine the armies. I can't do maths. Right, well, they only outnumber us slightly, and I am going to have to try and deal with this. So we managed to push them out of our lands, and what to do is, with the last move, we are going to move to Westphalia, and we're going to start sieging it down as well, just to basically create some problem, because every time we're in a region, we will reduce the income it provides. So even if we're not actually besieging a region, it will help. Now we've got a 52% chance of taking Bohemia next turn. That's something we want to continue to do. Let's take a look at how we suffered. No, because we depleted our numbers slightly, besieging the province here, we don't actually lose any extra men from supply. Fortunately, it doesn't look like the enemy lost any extra supply either. Interesting. Well, they're back in Württemberg. Do I continue to raid in Westphalia? They've got a better chance of actually taking the province, so I'm afraid we are going to have to march across to deal with them. So we'll drive them back again. Every time they have to withdraw like that, it costs them casualties. Unfortunately, it does mean I had to abandon my raid into Westphalia. It looks like this might be quite an inconsequential year, but of course, I don't know why they're being so conservative. They are being very, very cautious around us. 75% chance this time. I am going to raid into Franconia again. Just keep annoying them, keep poking them, keep causing them trouble. Yeah, okay, we're not going to stay and fight that lot. We've taken Bohemia. So despite the defeat, we're winning strategically. Württemberg is now under serious danger, so I think I'm going to have to march with my main army through to Württemberg. That's a 3 and 6. Unfortunately, means I'm not going to be able to besiege a province this turn. But with that army should be enough to drive that force off. So we will march straight through. We've now pushed them into Franconia. They are going to take serious supply shortages if they stay there. And just to be annoying, I am going to start raiding into Austria, because I love the indirect approach. So they're going to have to try to send an army there to deal with that. They didn't manage to retake Bohemia, and at the end of the year, despite our initial defeats, we are still losing. It's apparently a Catholic advantage now. So it's a new year. Let me take a look at exactly what's going on here. Right, I think we probably suffered because of the inadequate supply in Württemberg. Now what's happening here is the reason, even though I control this province, the reason I am in a supply shortage right now is because we're surrounded by hostile provinces. Also, I think I just got a ton of reinforcements, which is another reason why we're suddenly short in supply. I think Franconia is probably going to be a goal to take this season. Right. Now, we could try and challenge their main field army again. But since I'm at an even bigger disadvantage now, that doesn't seem like... Oh, we can't actually do anything? Great, so we're going to lose a bunch of troops without any chance to reply. Because it's currently the recruitment phase, which the AI did for us. On the plus side, I think they are suffering a lot more from the lack of supply. We lost 199 men, they lost 626. So we'll try and maintain that situation. We're going to force the army in Franconia back into its own lands. Now that's about all that army can support. And you know what? I'm feeling bold. They've got a small force here. I've got a small... right, you don't want to attack into their territory in these situations, because they will be buoyed by a massive army. But on the other hand, I can't just let this army do whatever it wants either. They're eating up their income in Bavaria. Let's raid into Moravia. I don't like how this is going so far. I didn't think, having taken territory, we'd end up with them having an advantage. Okay, they're counter-raiding into Bohemia. They've got a much better chance of taking the province. So what I will do is, they've got right now we have decent odds against them. I'm going to leave a token force here to continue the siege. So I'm basically just leaving my dragoons behind. And with my tiny army of 377, we're going to have a battle. You cowards. Right, all the more for me then. That means I've managed to keep my siege going. And Franconia should fall soon. Now they finally counterattack. They've understood that they have to try and defend Franconia. This is a major battle, so I can't skip it. And local Catholic forces have joined their army. So we are at a slight disadvantage, but it's not an overwhelming one. We are definitely going to take this battle. Take note that they've been joined by forces with light guns, so we're going to have some very nasty units supporting them here. This is actually a lot of points value they've managed to get. So we're in hilly terrain. That's not necessarily going to suit my salvo foot, but it will do. It will be quite good for my, well, particularly my commanded shots. Let's just get into it for now. The enemy are opening fair and open battle. This is my first real chance to turn the tide of the war, because we've been on the back foot since our defeat in the last episode, I would say. So if I can win this battle, then things should start to turn in the Swedes' favour. Now I can see that the high ground is over here, and as usual I want to try and avoid splitting my forces, so we probably want to set up on this flank. Thing is, there's a lot of things that could slow us down. Let's get the infantry organised first of all, and we'll have the salvo foot deployed along here. Keep an eye on them, because some of these will be depleted units. In fact, most of them will be depleted units because they will have seen some action. We don't get to recruit any more salvo foot. They were taken all the way from Sweden, so it's just pike and shot from now on. Kind of a unique unit for us. Sight the guns there so that they've at least got some line of sight on the enemy. There's nowhere else to put them that's really safe. And, you know what, put the commander shot in here with the dragoons on the extreme flank, because they can mask our approach. Actually, I put them here. And I'll take my cavalry along the flanks. So what I'll do, I'll have my veteran horse on this flank, leading the charge with the regular horse. Oh, they are mostly regular horse. Okay, we only have one unit of veteran horse apparently. Right, put the horse over here. So this is the bulk of my cavalry. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the cuirassiers covering this flank here. It's basically to protect the flank of these pike and shot with light guns from the enemy cavalry on this flank. So I'm hoping that they won't put so many cavalry on this flank due to the rough ground. My cavalry can actually exploit that situation. Just checking for any major obstacles on the enemy side of the battlefield. No, that's fine. Let's go. And there's the veterans that have joined their army. Other than that, it's looking pretty. Their armies actually look pretty ropey. They've got another unit of veterans on the right flank where I've deployed and forced them. It looks like the bulk of their cavalry is actually deployed on the left. No, as usual, this flank's stronger. They've got a whole wave of veterans here. This is just regular horse mostly. They've got some cuirassiers as well. Right, we've got the hussars there. We outnumber them in terms of our skirmish foot. But those skirmish foot are undeniably stronger. Hussars are pretty scary. So we should be able to shoot them up if we advance. We're going to have to bring our numbers to bear against them here. I'm hoping my advance will coax them into an advance of their own, and then we should be able to catch them on this rough ground, and or some of our units will be able to get a stationary fire bonus. And I'll also bring the cavalry out to support them just in case the enemy did a common check while charging their skirmishers into melee. And let's see, we've got the medium guns who currently have an opening. The veteran horses make an excellent target while they're in range. I'll move out our Swedish salvo foot. Move them into the forest for now. I want to avoid blocking the medium guns. I'm eventually going to move these units up onto the hill, so we'll move in this kind of direction. Again, as usual, the plan is to focus on one particular wing of the enemy army. Send the bulk of the force this way. Cuirassiers can follow up as a flank guard. This is particularly robust cavalry. They are good at that job. So not much movement from them yet. The guns look rather exposed out in the front, but trust me, if you try and send your cavalry out to capture them, you will be sacrificing your light cavalry. The infantry will shoot them down too quickly to really let them survive for long. That's a good hit on those veteran horse. Keep an eye on the quality of the enemy's units, because some of them may have been in a fight with us before. I think those cuirassiers were defeated by us one time before, because they should be highly superior. Right. We can start to advance into extreme range of fire now. 1, 2, 3. You can technically charge us from there, but I'm not too scared of them. Hit the dragoons first because they're an easy target. And deliver enough fire so that we definitely cause a fusion test. And there we go. We've already disrupted their lights. Now there's not much those light hussars can do to us from this range. I think the rough ground actually disorders my dragoons a little bit. Am I correct? No, it doesn't. We can only fire at that unit, unfortunately. I kept that unit back just so that my cavalry do have an entryway into the battle. Well, let's look at this. We're coming up in the cavalry. We do want to take this ridge, so it's a good idea to press forward. Make sure that the infantry are coming forward. We've already fired the guns. I might have to block my... No, I don't have to block my cannons because they can move to here. That's fine. We can move like this. Keep going up. No point putting them in the forest. Well, if we move up like this, we should have more movement options. You could probably write an entire guide on how to move your troops in such a way that they don't get any, that they don't obstruct one another. Okay, we did end up blocking the cannons, curses. Fine. Next turn. The enemy's light infantry, light cavalry can finally wake up to the fact that something is happening. Not causing as many casualties on them as I would have liked. You want to bring us in? If you want to bring this to melee, I'm quite happy to bring it to melee. I have my cavalry waiting behind me. Well, we did manage to hit someone. Or at least we had line of sight on someone. We still missed, but it's the principle of the thing. Fire them first, try and draw some fire. Nope. Close in for the kill. Right, they've fragmented. We can now turn all of our attention on this unit. Well, actually, this unit's probably the better target. Right now our infantry are taking up a nice position along this ridge. Now if they launch forward suddenly, I want my troops to be ready, so we'll move to here with the salvo. I'll start to swing this unit around, but once you get this close to the enemy, you have to maintain battle order. You'll pay for it if you don't. I want to form a straight line, so we'll bring them around as well. Hang on. Place not, want not. And that, right. And that gets our veterans into action with the rest of the horse following behind. Well, since they're focused there, what I can do with this horse is just very politely threaten them with extreme menace. Because if they fire at the horse, then they're going to be obviously blasted to pieces by the commander's shot. I want to push my cavalry forward because I'm going to want to try and get behind these horse, which are going to get stranded on my infantry line. But their cavalry are likely to be very reluctant to advance. so we may have to bring them. We may have to bring the battle to the enemy. I kind of wish I'd actually kept the arquebusiers on the other flank. Their pistols could have contributed to the firefight. Move them into the woods, see if we've got a line of sight on the enemy still. Blast. So, well, we can kill a few veterans at least. Yeah, just keep the cuirassiers back. They can come forward to block the enemy's cavalry as necessary. Oops, I'm sorry, forgot about you. On you come. Next turn. Don't tell Baldric, but I have a cunning plan. I do need to watch out for the position of the that might not work now. Do all of the cavalry advance, or are they holding that group back? They're going to get shot to death by stationary fire. Right, can they back off onto rough ground? Okay, good. What we're going to do is actually pull back here. Now you can probably already judge why I'm doing this if you think about it just a little bit, but I'll let you think about it for the minute. I'm not going to say exactly what I'm doing. I was really hoping that would break them. How close are they? They're still fighting back pretty hard actually. And it's really not to my advantage to delay here any longer. Right. Yeah, we'll wait one more turn to let this situation develop a little bit further. I need to bring some of my units into position anyway. Let's unleash as much firepower as we have. And tempting to charge, but I'd rather keep shooting them down since we're at a massive fire advantage. Finally a disruption. Yeah, we'll actually pass into a position of menace. There. Right, that'll do. And bring them out. And see, now they've had to come down into the low grounds. was a very nasty horse approaching the flanks there. Lots of fire taken by this flank. Right, now that we are on the lowland, I'm not going to invest any more effort in Light's battle. We're going to move forward at full pace with our Swedish salvo foot. I don't really care. Shoot them, they're the unit that we're going to be going for here. See, can we hit? We can hit them. That'll be a lucky disruption. But I thought with the extra cohesion test we might manage to knock the veterans off balance. We're also advancing outside of their fire arc, so that's giving us a further bit of protection here. And we've seriously weakened that side unit. I'll move to here actually. Good, a disruption. I just hope we can avoid being disrupted ourselves long enough to enjoy it. And the arquebusiers might actually cover themselves in glory in this position because they might be able to hit something of value. Now, at the same time, we need to push forward with our own cavalry. Now, these cuirassiers are a good target. And then again, we might want to go. Well, let's see. They've managed to gain a hill, so we do need to deal with them. And my veteran horse are really the only things that can hold them in melee long enough. Well, that's the only unit that's on rough ground, so it's not really an obstruction. Try and get rid of the... Damn it. Fine. And again, good. Finally got rid of that unit. They're kind of in the way there, I'm not going to lie. I was hoping to shoot the enemy with my commanded shot with light guns. Just push this unit away. That means we take that position on the hill. Turn the horse to threaten their flanks and brace for impact. Stupid fools. Okay, well that was a complete failure. Move the cavalry in and begin to threaten the cuirassiers again. Pursue through, try and get into position. Hopefully you won't chase the lights for too long. So you're facing that. Well, bring our own cavalry through first. If we move here, we can threaten them with the guns, and they won't be able to do anything back to us. We'll bring the rest of our force through as well. Keep sniping at them. You can move to there and then turn and shoot. And again. We're just going to keep sliding our cavalry through here. I'll keep a few to keep cavalry units here to take advantage of any gaps in the enemy's lines that appear. Here for now. But start to curl around because I'm seeing these cavalry coming up on us. I might need to try and get my guns out of here. I always end up losing the guns, but I want to try and protect the guns because if I lose them, then I lose my siege capability. That's going to really hurt. Really, you take all of that fire before and 30 men is enough to disrupt you now. That was a bad unit to get disrupted. They've fragmented, which might be enough to panic them. Oh god, I hate this diagonal setup. It means they get another turn of fire to hit us. Charge with this unit here. Because this group is threatening the flanks. Shoot them and see if you can draw a response. Good. Fire from here. We've managed to disrupt the veterans and move this unit into attack. Ugh, fine, whatever. Just get into position. We've got another unit behind shells. See, I can't move because of the stupid charge priority target rules. That unit's already been extremely badly weakened. No, just go in and prepare for charge. We can't afford to hang around in a firefight. These guys are in a lot of trouble. This is not how I'd like to use my cuirassiers. We need to give them some cover. They're not within charge distance of anyone, so they should be able to safely fall back. At least gives them a chance of survival. It means they're not going to disrupt the rest of my forces. Pull the rest of these units around. They were hit by a lot of fire last time. See if we can push them over the edge. Nope. Okay, so we've managed to cover our disrupted unit, but these fragmented guys are out on limb. This unit's very vulnerable. We'll hit the veterans, even though they survive the battle. That's going to be more dead veterans is obviously going to weaken them. Thing is, because without the hill, they are stronger than us. It looks like they couldn't defend their flanks here, though. We need to be careful. We need to carefully consider how we're going to use this, because a wrong move could be very bad for us potentially. What I want to do is get my cavalry, bring more of my cavalry to bear. And what I'd actually like to do with my horse is send them through a gap created once these infantry move off. So I'll turn them this way, and we'll get our cavalry ready to move through that gap. So it's obviously advantageous for my veterans to be here. They're now directly threatening this horse on the downward slope. And let's see how much damage we can do to these cuirassiers before we charge into them and flank them. We've managed to disrupt them, so this is a good chance of carrying them all away. And they'll kill like overkill. And they're gone. Interesting choice. Excellent choice. So they were able to ignore the charge priority rules, and that now threatens the flank of this group. Right, if that's the case, then we can ignore. Right, I'm going to line my force up like this. It's a bit of a risk, but obviously I'm setting up a massive flank crisis for the enemy here. And we'll shield their flanks with our own horse remaining on the hill. Okay, we almost managed to shield the flanks with the remaining horse on the hill. I know there are some fragmented dragoons in there. I'm going to send my remaining light units to go and flush them out. So that was a very successful turn for us in the cavalry battle. Not so much in the infantry battle where we're about to get hosed down by fire. Next turn. We've broken them here. Now, a lot depends on what happens during the pursuit. Good that they didn't break off. Fortunately, the enemy they didn't panic. They're going to go straight through to the guns, but there's a lot of people waiting to shoot them once they're there. Okay, just exchanging fire with them there. The enemy men decided to engage in the fighting shot here, and they're actually winning, to my concern. Good, the enemy are getting distracted by my cavalry. They're not focusing on my weakened infantry. I hate using my cuirassiers like that. Sometimes You just need to drill some fire. And in this era, after all, the infantry are basically the heart of the army. Which is not to say the cavalry didn't have a place. So the enemy didn't charge in. I was hoping they'd charge in and take an engagement here. Right. As planned, move this unit around. Fire. I do have that reserve unit to worry about. We've got our salvo units, move them in, because they didn't manage to disrupt them, so that's going to make our life more difficult. Well, at the very least we can do this. And this is not going to, well, let's just have a look here actually for a second. That's drawn their fire. Okay, move to here. And you guys can move to here. And now we're basically threatening to outflank their entire line. If you can hold on and don't mess this up. Now, if we move this cavalry, oh, that's a flank attack right there and then. Well, except we're going to get a flank attack there anyway. But I don't mind having a second option. Charge into them here. And they've broken. I don't think they have anywhere to go. Excellent. Now, since that's happened, I can now move these much more reliable veterans in to create a flank threat here. Because they didn't break, but that means I'm going to be able to get some kind of flank against them next turn. We're fighting here, and we are actually at an advantage, which is good. And that's keeping those. That will keep those horsemen honest. Which means that my light units can now start blasting them to pieces. Oh, we can't actually get line of sight from there. I'm actually going to send my commanded shot back over in this direction because we have a little bit of a problem with a very large number of enemies here. We are winning over here, even in that first melee, which looked a little doubtful. But I think I'll shelter them by moving into this square. Not so much as sheltering them. That unit's obviously walking into a very dangerous situation. I have to try and bring them to bear. And it will need to use the cavalry to continue to shield them. This is an all or nothing situation. And there's no one to guard the pike and shot now. Who might wobble? We did get a little bit of fire into them, but it wasn't much. I don't think my cannons really have much of a chance of fire at them for lack of a better target. Right. We are in a very promising position with the cavalry battle. And that's just as well because that's probably our one saving grace. The infantry battle is in balance and the enemy cavalry, we have basically no protection on the right. Veterans will veteran, and of course they haven't disrupted. don't really care what the light infantry do at this stage. Especially if it's the enemy's light infantry, they aren't exactly very important. There, you're going to stop there. You know the expression, when you're going through hell, keep going? That's what happened. Oh, they did. Oh, they took the guns. Yeah, our beautiful cuirassiers are going to get shot to bits. And we have until that cavalry arrives to win the battle, because then we're all dead. But they are starting to break. Now those poor reserve Pike and shot. Oh, okay. That, on the other hand, is not good. Right, I know what I need to do here. Charge, they'll evade, we'll go straight into the back of them. But they're still only disrupted. Flank attack, we'll launch the flank attack here. So that's fragmented them. Hit them with every volley we have. Move around. Just move into the woods. You can catch a glance of, you can catch those elusive dragoons. Now, if they won't break, I will make them break. And that, since that unit's, well, hold on, let's see. That unit's about to break. Move this group forward, they can contribute to any flanking maneuvers going on. And you move to there. You'll be able to flank them next turn. You know, let's see what the odds are there. They might just manage to hold on, so I want to give them a little push. And they might actually go into the disrupted horse. Now if I set up at an angle here, I'm also threatening the flank of these horse here, so we'll turn here to solidify the situation. Right, this situation is obviously not exactly a pretty one. I can't pull anyone back at all. I've got no options whatsoever, except for one. They're stuck there. They can't withdraw. I don't understand this one because there's nothing blocking their way behind them. That's just a road. That should be good terrain to withdraw through. I don't understand this one. There must be some rule I don't know. The cavalry are coming for us whatever I do, so there's not really anything I can do with this unit except at least try and inflict some casualties on them. Let's at least try to inflict some casualties on this flank shot. We might even get a disruption if we're lucky. Now this one's a bit of a puzzler for me. Okay, we need this situation to break up soon, which is why these flank attacks are going to be important. Next turn. Don't know if I'm on time. I'm winning this situation, but I don't know if I'm on time to save the day. I was hoping to pull back so I could send these salvo into action. I don't want to turn their flank. Fragmented unit managed to hold on, and they're now the enemy are fragmented here. I need to maintain the unit spacing because otherwise they are going to get flanked. Also broken. Ouch. I should have seen that coming before it happened. I'm going to lose the guns as well, which means I'm going to lose my siege capabilities. Damn! Oh no, everyone gave way at once. All because of a rule I didn't understand. I mean, they would have held on a bit longer because of their they wouldn't have lost their cohesion as quickly. We're lucky they didn't break themselves. Right, we have to charge here and we have to try and break these guys. They should break in this direction. Pray this unit runs through first and hits this reserve Pike unit. Oh good. Goodness, flanked by both. So all of this will now collapse. They're going to go straight into those. Excellent. That's exactly what we needed to happen. And this is obviously awful. They're in just the wrong position. Or from the enemy's perspective, just the right position. Turn, and you should be able to fire at this unit here. I'm going to go for a disruption on them. Well, we have caused them quite a lot of damage. Can we get one more shot at them? No. But we're on relatively even ground. We can at least hold on for a little while. Until we've broken some more of these units, we can win then. Let's see. Just lock that unit down. We need to focus on getting our cavalry around the back of the enemy's infantry line. So that if our veteran force can get to there, that would be the best situation for us, I think. If you move to here, you can start to fire at them. And we now have to pour through like a faucet. Don't care about the lights. Well, maybe I do care a little bit because I could actually break a horse because fragmented cavalry can be charged. Where are their dragoons? I don't like that. Right, move into there, just take some cover. The light cavalry can control the situation. The lights can control the situation. I don't think I have anyone else left who can move. Not just the cuirassiers who are making a last stand. At least they should slow down the enemy's infantry for a time. Next turn. Now 35%. If we can avoid losing anyone else, we can win this. Our disrupted units remain just that. Ouch, that was a half volley that caused all those casualties. they're going to break. It's an auto break, and let's see where all of this goes. We're right on that unit's flank. Oh wait, they're routing anyway. No! You idiots! Oh, thank goodness they're fragmented. We're lucky they didn't fragment further. All of our cavalry are facing the wrong way, except for the veterans. Guns are gone. Very hard to defend your guns, especially when you're outnumbered. Not the time for that. The worst part is they could break quickly. Why do I sound so gloomy all the time? I'm winning. Right now I am winning this fight. I know it's something of a tradition for players of FOG to be pessimistic, but come on. We're about to carry out a massive victory potentially here. Let's try and show some spirit. So let's go! Charge! I said charge! That's hardly much of a charge at all. Right, get around their flanks. We'll start threatening their guns. I can bring this unit around and get the final flank attack. We'll break that unit there. Turn around and we will threaten the light horse. And you know what? I don't think you can charge at unit type, so just keep roaring through. Bring them through to there, and that's us unfortunately out of moves. We will turn to lace those veterans with fire and get absolutely shot to pieces ourselves, but it's okay, because if we can fire with this unit at close range, that will take some of the fire away. Keep peppering them. And now, huzzah! Surprise salvo foot to the face. That did absolutely nothing. All of that dramatic build-up, and that was for that rather underwhelming turn. But I guess it will have to do. I think those dragoons ran off the face of the planet. It's making me nervous. That was just a horse. So they rally up, they could break that unit of cavalry. 39%. They're getting close to auto breaking though. A draw's boring. Hello, what do I see here? Right, the Catholics have one more turn to live. Boy, am I not winning any political campaigns after that statement. We have one more campaign to live as well. Disrupted them there. It's all getting set up for the grand finale. Can we break that unit of veterans? That's the question. It's not very likely given how strong they are and how good their cohesion tests will be. They fragmented as well. We'll take their medium guns. They'll lose all of their guns after the battle anyway, but it will contribute rout percentage. Smash into them. And they're held. Right. Bring them around, but the problem is, of course, that the veteran horse will likely block us. If we bring the horse down here, they'll be charging downhill. Yeah, swing right around them here. I don't think I really need this flank attack, and I need these soldiers elsewhere. I said, if they don't break, this could be inconvenient. Smash them here. And yeah, this is a problem. Move on to the rough ground and we might be able to hold them here for a time. I've got to think, yeah, that could be a death sentence. Because, oh no. If they decide to evade, we're toast. I need to hope that they don't try to move out the way of. I need to hit the rough ground, use their position on the rough ground to hold the cavalry up instead of running away. Because if those Swedish salvo foot go now, we are in a lot of trouble. Do the flaming flank attack. Hopefully it'll give us just enough. We only need one of these units to decide to give up the ghost and this entire line could shatter. Here it goes. It looks like we may have just about pulled it off. So they're going to come through these. They're going to try and smash into those fresh troops. Of course the veterans didn't break. That was a stupid thing to gamble on. Not that I had much of a choice, mind you. They didn't. No, they didn't charge. It was just a short pursuit path. They disrupted themselves. It's amazing that they didn't break under that. They didn't crack under that pressure. The cavalry chose to move around us, so that's basically given us a stay of execution. Actually, if the enemy don't manage to break any of my units this turn, we won. I figured they'd break something this turn, given all the weakened units I have lying around. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, we have won the Battle of Franconia. Now, we did take quite a lot of casualties there. It's over 10%. We lost about 15% of our army in that battle. The enemy, on the other hand, lost about half of theirs, so including all of their guns. So that should shift things greatly in my advantage. And they're attacking us again, wow. So we've managed also to destroy the garrison of Franconia, so I expect that will fall quite quickly. They've only got 4% chance of taking that with that tiny army. So if we can win this now, we should do well. And that's the thing is that no, I don't think they've been offered any local forces here. So this is just a straight fight. This is the fight I was trying to force before. Let's go for it. Okay, now my force is actually mostly cavalry. And that raises alarm bells in my head, because if they've got a mostly infantry force, we might not have the resources we need to win this battle. So we're going to need to use the infantry that we have very well, and I don't know what is in the enemy army. So what we need to do is deploy conservatively. This hill is a pretty good place to hold. Yeah, you see that small mound? If we deploy towards that, that will at least give us somewhere to hold the enemy off and gain an early advantage. We probably want to deploy behind it, because I want to come up and then hit them in melee as they're coming over the hill. And as for my cavalry, well, they can just form up in battle order, because we really don't know what to do with them yet. What have we won? Light troops can be a problem for cavalry forces, because they can't shoot back. It's an infantry heavy force. Okay, so the enemy, it's not the force we wanted to face. We're facing a large body of pike and shot. But all is not lost yet. We have infantry of our own, so we do have options. And the enemy cavalry forces, they've got 2 veteran horse units, and then the rest are just regular horse. If we could break this flank, we've pretty much won. What I think we want to do is turn around, and we're actually going to focus on that right flank of the enemy army. And if at all possible, I'd like to bring my infantry to bear on it. I'll also bring my dragoons along for the right, so let's just get into marching order for now. Get up onto that hill, so we've got that under our control. But don't obstruct the infantry's marching path. Hold on, let me check something. Sorry folks, my microphone volume drops after I use certain apps. I forgot to check it this time. That should sound a little bit clearer now. Right. Just keep moving. Right, move the infantry up. And we'll get the cavalry clear of this rough ground. Hey, they're attacking us. It's them who have to advance if they want to win the battle today. But I'm willing to take the battle to them if it helps. Now the AI is smart enough to advance with its right flank first, and then with its left flank first, and then its right. So you'll see that happening first. Okay, I'm eventually going to have to line them up in battle order. Push the dragoons forward a little bit, just because I want to keep those light hussars honest. We should probably move the veterans closer to the action, to be honest. Take up position on the rough ground here. Start to open fire. We've got the Swedish salvo coming up in support. But I don't want any light cavalry slowing our advance now. They're going to come into contact with the dragoons. Ouch. Right, that hurt. You know what will hurt more? Salvafoot shooting them in the face. Right, now we have to come into battle order, so move up. Fire. Fine, okay. And from close range as well. But this isn't the main show, move past them. See, this has caused my infantry to lag behind. You always want to bring light foot. They disrupt your enemy's They disrupt your enemy's movements. One light unit in the right place can rip apart an entire battle plan. Right, actually, well, that was obviously not a good thing. Why did I move them up? The whole idea was to confront them with the infantry first. And it's that light unit that did it. I paid too much attention to it. Okay, so if our Swedish salvafoot can hold it together, we might be able to get our units into these Pike and shot, but then what did the cavalry lost impact because it's veteran horse. No, I've screwed this up. Or if we win now, it's going to be sheer luck. Nope. Wow, I did that badly. And I mean, I really, really did that badly. We are fighting downhill, so we do have the advantage in these fights at least. We actually got really unlucky with that disruption. Okay. Seems I can't. Seems we're settling into a pattern of one victory, one defeat. At least it's a minor defeat here, because it's only minor forces involved. Just warning me, we've been playing for an hour. Well, that might keep us alive a little bit longer. Charge. Because if I don't get out there, they'll just attack us in the melee. They'll win. I can't go anywhere because they've just taken away my ability to turn. Right, maybe we'll win one of these melees. Maybe we'll win here. It would also help us if they choose to charge us and then pounce off. Now they're going to leave us to die. We'd actually win a melee there. You see, the thing is, if I lose any more units, then the battle's over, so I can't actually take that attack. Fine, just get out there. So I can at least pin this unit down and prevent them from going, but they're going to get flanked, and that's probably the end of it. Yeah, that was pretty conclusive. So I lost a valuable unit of salvo, as in all of these units were, and my pike and shot. All of these units will be demoralised. This really is quite the loss of combat power. And that's it. Obviously, I made some very bad decisions due to me just getting blinded by the light cavalry. And in a very small battle like this, you're not that, a mistake like that's just going to cost you everything. So we lost about half the force there. So very severe defeat for us there. Luckily, it was a small battle. Alright, so that moves things back to being a Catholic advantage, and the province still hasn't fallen. We've got 196 points. We can try and redeem ourselves. We managed to push them back out of Bohemia. What are the things like in the Palatinate? They're about to take Württemberg. Right. What I could do is leave a token force and try and chase them out. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave the horse behind. I'll leave the dragoons behind. They are traditional holding force. And we're going to hop into Württemberg. Yeah, we managed to push them back. So that's the main threat to my army gone. And there we go. So they have got force in the Palatinate. It might take the province, but we've still got our main siege going on. And that's the main thing. I'm obviously not going to try that again. Murphy's Law strikes. Well, at least we managed to take Franconia. Maybe I can get the Palatinate back. Let's take a look at what their combat power is like. Combine our armies, and yeah, we're definitely not going into Bavaria, but let's see if we can take the Palatinate. I think it will have a fairly weak garrison. It's only just been taken. Thing is, then they can move into Franconia, which we've only just taken, and they might actually manage to seize that because we don't have guns. They will have guns. But I can't move back anyway. %14 versus a 36%. We'll just wait here for now. And I think with my tiny little army here, I'll raid into Bavaria. Okay, so that year was a wash. We managed to take Franconia, but we've lost access to the Palatinate. Almost, but we've managed to. But the fact that we've got Bohemia in our hands is obviously still a positive, and I think things will start to shift in our favour because we've mostly been raiding their lands. Anyway, folks, I've been Napoleon Complex. Thank you for watching this. We'll leave things there for now. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the content so far, and I will see you in the next one. Farewell.